Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're really getting into the story of Rahul Borkar. He's a Louisville musician, producer, songwriter, and his whole career is shaped by this kind of fascinating duality.
Yeah, it really is. You've got the raw energy of American hard rock on one side, but then also this deep artistic legacy from his Indian family history.
Right. And our goal here is to sort of map that out for you, understand how that family background led him to this core belief he has, that music isn't just, entertainment. He calls it a vital therapeutic force. His medicine, basically.
It's a powerful idea, and the background is pretty compelling. You mentioned the duality. He fronted this band, Breckenridge. They actually made it onto the Billboard charts. But he's also the grandson, first-generation American grandson, of Balkrishna Bhagwant Borkar.
Baki Borkar.
Exactly, Baki Bob. A really revered Indian poet, a freedom fighter, too. He even received the Padma Shri Award, which is, one of India's highest honors.
That's quite the lineage. So, okay, let's start with the music side first. The band Breckenridge. They grew out of some earlier groups, Element H, Heaven Hill, and they did something, pretty remarkable back in the early 2000s.
Oh, yeah. Their single Honesty, it hit the Billboard charts, which sounds good, but the key thing is they were unsigned. No major label backing at that point. That was a huge deal.
Huge. It says a lot about the song, the band's hustle.
Totally. And their drive. And speaking of their early days, there's a cool connection there, too. A guy named Seth Firkins, another Louisville local, he actually started out managing their street team.
No kidding. Seth Firkins, who went on to engineer for Future, Jay-Z Grammy nominated.
That's the one. Started with Breckenridge. It just kind of places Borkar's early rock scene right there, at the start of some major hip-hop careers, too. Small world.
Wild. But okay, Breckenridge hits Billboard. They've got momentum. And then in 2005, they split. That seems counterintuitive. The sources say it wasn't like a big dramatic implosion.
Right, not really an implosion. It was more Borkar making a deliberate choice, a pivot. He apparently felt he needed a really singular musical approach for the new stuff he was writing.
Meaning he needed more control.
Exactly, total artistic control. And he felt that was impossible to achieve within the band setup. Collaboration has limits when you have a very specific vision, I guess. He needed autonomy for the art itself.
Okay, and that strong need for artistic control for a specific purpose in the art? That seems to connect back to his grandfather, doesn't it? Baki Borkar.
Yeah.
The poet.
Absolutely. His grandfather's art wasn't just, art for art's sake. It was deeply tied to resistance, to purpose. We're talking about someone who left a secure government job back in the 40s.
Wow.
Yeah, a huge risk then. He left it to join the fight for Goa's liberation from Portuguese rule, and his poems, like Goian Lohia Aelor, they weren't just words on a page. They became anthems for the movement, real-world impact.
So he literally used art as a tool for political change, for freedom.
Precisely. And that dedication, that sacrifice, it was recognized. He got the Tamarapatra and then the Padma Shri in 1967.
So you see the through line there. Baki Bob used poetry to fight for national freedom. Rahul uses rock music to deal with, personal struggle, for healing. The medium is different. Rock versus poetry.
But the core impulse is similar, right? Using art to confront struggle, to survive, maybe even to change something. It's like that legacy got passed down and just recontextualized for his own life, his own challenges as a first-gen American.
And that's where the music as medicine idea really comes into focus. It wasn't just a cool phrase for him.
No, apparently it solidified after a hospital stay. Music became his actual therapy, his way through it. And that became the absolute foundation for his solo project, which he just calls Borkar.
Right. And, the strength of that conviction, that authenticity, it must have resonated. Because look who we got to play on the Borkar project. It's like a rock who's who.
Seriously. Kenny Olson from Kid Rock's band producing it. Peter Keys from Lynyrd Skynyrd on keys.
Greg Upchurch from Three Doors Down on drums.
And Jason Todd, original guitarist from Shinedown. I mean, that's a killer lineup. You have to think they signed on because they felt the honesty, the purpose behind the songs.
Yeah, it wasn't just another rock record. It suggests that kind of vulnerability. When you channel it into art with real intention, it pulls people in. Top talent. It shows that navigating that dual identity, the rocker and a poet's grandson, wasn't a weakness. It was the source of his unique strength.
Exactly. Authenticity is magnetic.
So it really frames his music differently, doesn't it? Knowing the story, the legacy, it adds weight. Which kind of brings us to a final thought for you, the listener, to consider. If art can carry that kind of weight, if it can be used for something as big as national liberation, like Baki Bob's poetry, Or for something as intensely personal as healing, like Rahul's music, how does that change how we value creative work?
Right? Does it shift its resonance?
Yeah. What purpose could your creative output, whatever it is, serve beyond just, entertainment? Something to think about.